business leaders, politicians and thinkers have all descended on the Swiss resort town of Davos. It's a hive of activity. Let's head over now to Godfrey Mutizwa for a perspective on what's coming out of the World Economic Forum. Godfrey.
Good afternoon, Lerato. Indeed, it is Davos time 2012, and the big theme this year is the great capitalism debate. In fact, it's the great transformation, finding new models to try and rescue the global economy from the crisis that we've seen in the past 2 years or so. Now, as I said, that's the big theme. That's what most of the leaders who have converged here, 2,600 of them, are talking about mainly. So today, the first session in the morning was about the future of capitalism in a debate that was sponsored by Time magazine. Now, one of the issues that came up is what do we do with the system that we currently have in which the global economy is operating? Can capitalism be redesigned, or can it be modeled in such a way that it can be changed and become more functional and better serve the global economy? One comment that came out from a Labour leader who came from Australia. She is Australian, but she works at the Geneva Center of the International Trade Union Congresses. She spoke about the need for businesses to rethink about the way they are doing business. One quote from here was, business has lost its moral compass and needs really to think again about how it is going about in terms of trying to do its business. Another issue that came up was, can we find a way of trying to make business work better the way it is now? And the thought among some of the leaders here is that you can't. You really need to look at the whole model and change it completely. That, of course, is not agreed to by everybody. The session that I'm talking about brought together business leaders, it brought together trade union leaders, it brought together academics, and it also brought together the sector that's, of course, at the center of the whole crisis, the banking community. Europe, as we know, is at the center of the crisis. We're talking about the issues that are deviling European countries, the sovereign debt crisis, and that is going to be debated here very, very strongly across various platforms. In addition to the main theme around the great transformation, there are also sub-themes that are running through the conference. I'll just take you through some of them. The first one that I want to go through is the one that's on the growth and employment story. How do we create jobs? How do we create employment so that the millions of unemployed, particularly the youth, become and feel part of the global economy? The other theme that's running around is leadership and innovation. The sense is that what is required now is strong leadership. Now, there has been criticism of some of the European leaders from around the world, particularly the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, about her leadership of the European debt crisis. And the sense is that from some people, at least, she's not doing enough, but others, I counter-argue that she is doing the best that she can in the circumstances. The other sub-theme that's running around is around sustainability and resource allocation. And talking about sustainability, interestingly, we had a conversation with Mark Cutifani, CEO of Anglo Gold Ashanti, and he spoke about what they are doing in the gold industry to make sure that they are sustainable and they keep digging, while at the same time looking after the communities that they operate in. He spoke about what they're doing in Ghana and also what they're doing in South Africa. We shall be airing that interview later. And finally, one of the sub-themes is around technological and societal models. Do we need to look at the whole societal model as it stands right now? And also technology, how do we make it better serve the interests of the global economy? So those are some of the issues that are resonating here at Davos as leaders. As I said, 2,600 of them that are gathered here bring their minds together and trying to find a way. Interestingly, I had a conversation with the managing director of the World Economic Forum. He's in charge of Davos here, and I spoke to him about the relevance of Davos in the current context, and he gave a very robust defense of why the World Economic Forum continues to be a relevant place in the global economy, and why perhaps more than at any other time you do need a platform that brings together business as well as political leaders as well as social leaders to try and debate the issues that we are facing. It's good and well to say, you know what, we need to redesign capitalism, but what do you replace it with? And you do need these people to come together and debate those issues, Lerato.